Three, two, one, do it. Okay, back on Sports and Tacos. We're going to talk about the recent college football coaching changes, mainly Lincoln Riley, and then all of a sudden Brian Kelly jumping ship to one jumping ship to escape the SEC, one jumping on the SEC ship. So let's start with Lincoln Riley. I guess we'll just make it pretty quick and easy. Let's do buy or sell. Maybe not buy or sell, but for it or against it.
Sell.
For Bama. If you were Lincoln Riley, would you have done what he did? Yes or no?
No.
Okay. Give me the reason.
On the money.
Give me the reasons why.
Well, you didn't accomplish anything at Oklahoma yet.
Yeah.
You won a couple of Heisman trophies, right? Yes, you did that. But honestly, it looks like you're trying to, like you said, escape from the SEC. You know, Oklahoma's going in there in a year or two. You didn't want to go and face the teams in there. You want to go to the West Coast where you can take that fun and gun and do what you do there, which might be a great move for him, honestly.
Yeah.
He didn't want to get fired.
I think he's scared.
He didn't want to get fired.
I don't think he was. Well, yeah.
He didn't want to get fired.
Yeah,
He wanted to go on a good note, leave at that note, and try to build up by that note.
Yeah, he couldn't win the Big 12 title with Oklahoma, and won the Big 12 title, yes, but he couldn't do the playoff and do anything further than that. And he knows he's about to come into a conference where you've got to compete with the big dogs of the conferences right there in college football. So he's like, I'll go to the West Coast. All I got to do is beat Oregon. Hell, Utah did that twice, and they weren't even that good.
Yeah,
And Utah provides beautifulness and not ranked as high as they should have been.
Yeah, well,
I would trade Norman, Oklahoma for Los Angeles probably any day of the week, especially if offering more money.
Yeah,
but I think you jumped ship a little quick on that one too.
Definitely in the winter, that's for sure. Definitely a more cush job. I guess I was listening this week, but they want to change in Southern California and especially Los Angeles is these big SEC schools, they come to SoCal and just take their pick of recruits. And they've been doing that for probably, basically since, oh God, what's the coach of the Seahawks? I forget his name.
Pete Carroll.
Pete Carroll. Ever since Pete Carroll left, basically that's been the thing. When Pete Carroll went to the NFL and you had the whole Pete Carroll, Reggie Bush, all the, scandals that everybody kind of ran from there. The SEC has come to SoCal and just taken their pick of recruits and they want to change that. They think Lincoln Riley is the man that can change that. Because I guess back in the day, what it used to be like was when they would see another coach, say from the SEC or another conference land at LAX, coming to SoCal to recruit the top recruits out of Southern California, they would ask him, like, why are you even bothering? Why are you even wasting your time?
You'll never be able to pluck anybody from California like that.
Because they used to go, basically, Pete Carroll's biggest worry back in the day was just making sure the top recruits didn't go to UCLA.
Yeah.
Now they can't keep him in state. So.
Well, I guess it makes. Look at my Alabama quarterback. He went to Mater Deep.
Yeah.
California.
Yeah. SoCal, at least for high school football, there's a lot of, you got 40 million people that live between LA and San Diego. So, you got a lot of people. A lot of kids.
Do you really think Lincoln Riley will change that culture right there?
Well, I think, if you are a 5-star high school recruit and you can stay close to home and still go to the NFL, I think you'll do that. As opposed to, going to Alabama or LSU. The main reason they're picking those schools, we all know, is because they're NFL factories.
Oklahoma's pretty good too.
Yeah, no, they are.
Back-to-back
They are
trophy winners, and a third one with Jalen Hurts that almost won a Heisman. He did pretty good over there.
Basically, they think Lincoln Riley can instantly change that somehow, some way. So we'll see.
That's called pipe dreams, California.
It could be. It could be because at the end of the day, those high school recruits and those parents, they want their kid. Let's just be real. They want that kid to have the best shot at the NFL. And when you're a 5-star recruit, now don't get me wrong, the moms are probably they want him to get an education. But if you're a 5-star blue chip high school recruit, the number one topic is the NFL and getting paid.
Yeah, that is it. That's what you go for. Damn straight.
So.
And they play for a couple years. NFL, not for long.
No, I get it. Well, I mean, compared to a person that lives, an average Joe, I mean, think about it. If you got a 1-year contract in the NFL, Big Daddy, to go play fullback for the Broncos, you'd be set for life.
I'll take that $250,000.
It would be more than that. It's like the league minimum now is, I want to say, 7 or 800. So you figure that, and I get it. So Lincoln Riley's supposed to change that.
And he is one of the what I've seen, like I say, back-to-back Heisman trophies with Baker and.
Okay, let's put it this way. Are you buying? Are you buying or you're selling? Let's look 3 years into the future. 3 years from now, is USC a powerhouse on the same level as the SEC?
No, not even close. Pete Carroll took that away.
Yeah. What do you? Why? How?
Years ago.
Why can't they get it back?
Not for a while.
Why?
Look at what happened. Nobody wants to go to USC anymore. The Pac is not what the Pac used to be.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's true.
They're not as passionate about the college football, it don't seem like, as they was back in the day. I'm damn straight I'll give them that on that.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
NCAA, different story for basketball. Different story. But you know what? Different styles, different ways, different plays. No.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Well,
it sounds kind of smart on his part because now he can go into the West Coast, now that I'm thinking about it, to a place that, like I say, hadn't had a playoff champion ever. Rarely are in the playoffs. You go out that way with the knowledge of what he's done at Oklahoma. You go out there with less competition, basically, and you could run ring right there. So, yeah, I kind of backtracked a little bit. That was probably really smart.
Well, I think the decision was really smart. I mean, he's got a private Learjet. They're literally giving him a $6 million home. Like, he's making a ton of money. All he's got to beat is freaking Oregon and UCLA every year.
You win 9-10 games a year there. You're going to coach there for the rest of your life if you want to. You win 9-10 games at Oklahoma, you're getting on the hot seat.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so it was totally cush. But I just kind of wonder if, 3 years from now, if they're a powerhouse and they're competing against the SEC in the national championship game. So.
I'm not sold on that. Yeah, I'm not sold on that. I still don't think he's going to be able to pluck recruits out of there like thinks he might.
Yeah.
All
right.
Talking right here.
Well, cool. Let's move on. Let's move on to Brian.
SEC in the Big Ten is the spot to be at right now.
Yeah, for sure.
You want to get hot or you want to get cold.
Yeah.
That's your call.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Big Ten, SEC. That's it. All the other conferences are getting shut down.
Even ACC plays their part right.
Yeah, ACC, man.
Well, okay, let's
Look at what happened to Clemson. They got a great coach. And
I ain't done nothing lately.
Nothing.
Yeah. Well, let's move on to Brian Kelly. I mean, Notre Dame is one of the most heralded head coaching positions ever. I mean,
in the history of football.
Win one for the Gipper,
Yes.
And Brian Kelly, out of nowhere. Okay, number one, do you think Brian Kelly is going to be a good fit down on the bayou? I mean, you got a Yankee ending up down on the bayou. And I'm not going to lie. Like, I'm sure Brian Kelly's a great guy. He's always reminded me of the freaking like the evil head coach in Varsity Blues.
Oh, well, you get on the field regardless of what.
Yeah, like he seemed to me. He's always
Give
seemed
him, put the needle in there. Kill the pain.
he's always seemed like
I,
an a-hole to me.
I just think Kelly thought his hands was tied at Notre Dame. They've got, I mean,
They are kind of.
they win 10 games a year. You get in the show every now and then, but you can't compete because, again, we're going back to recruiting. They have such higher standards at Notre Dame to where you can't even look at some of these guys.
No, I get it.
Those look at and say, hey, you come to us, we'll build you into a better person, make you a college student if you weren't as good as you were in high school. We'll give you the chance. Notre Dame don't give you that opportunity in a lot of places.
No, that's
Notre
quite.
Dame, you have to have a 3.5 to get in, and then on top of it, you're looking at the players too. Okay, a lot of players, they're not smart enough to be in Notre Dame.
Yeah, no, I get it. Okay, well let's.
And then, so he has the opportunity to go into this school, to USC, where their GPA is what?
LSU.
Or LSU. LS who?
Yeah.
LS who? But at the same time, look at the GPAs. That's the biggest thing about that. That's why Kelly wanted to do something different.
Yeah.
And guess what? Now he has the opportunities to handpick his players.
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
No.
Yeah, but we'll see what happens.
So
That's next season.
okay, so I'm going to put out that same question. 3 years from now, is LSU more or less of a powerhouse than they are today?
I'll be honest with you, Shotgun. I'm going to go. He's going to improve the school. I think that. Of course, you got Alabama going, but
I just don't think he's going to, especially when Oklahoma and Texas come over. There's no way LSU, with Brian Kelly there, is going to take him up to that spot.
Yeah, because I kind of look at it like this.
He might not be there in 3. You do remember, LSU's, 2 years away from a 15-0 season, and then the coach gets fired?
Yeah, I get it.
2 years later?
Yeah, I kind of look at it like this. Like if you're a recruit and okay, let's put it this way. Let's say you're a 5-star blue chip recruit. So let's say a quarterback, or it doesn't really matter, or just a 5-star blue chip recruit, right? You're sitting there, and all of a sudden USC and LSU are coming at you. Who do you choose? And the reason I say that is, Lincoln Riley all of a sudden is going to bring a ton of recruits with him to USC. He's just gone from, don't get me wrong, Oklahoma's a big name.
Look at his record.
Yeah, or Brian Kelly. How many instantaneously is Brian Kelly going to make the recruiting class this year at LSU better?
He's got to help out.
Because it's LSU anyways. They're always top 10 or top 5. I don't think all of a sudden the name Brian Kelly...
It don't get no better, no. Because Kelly's not got... like you're saying right there, Brian Kelly's a big name, but he's not a big name. He's not the name that recruits go, oh, I want to go there and play because of you.
Yeah, they're not going to all of a sudden... They're not going to all...
for a Riley at times, yes.
Yeah, they're not going to all...
Go hardball in that.
They're not going to be like, oh, I'm not going to Clemson, I'm going to LSU now because of Brian Kelly, right? I don't think.
It won't be because of Brian Kelly, it'll be because of LSU.
Now, they might, yeah, exactly. But they might switch from a Clemson to a USC because of Lincoln Riley.
That's like I say, yeah, because especially if you're a big arm quarterback, because he is a quarterback coach.
Yeah.
But that is a great spot. What he does with his offense, being on the West Coast, he's probably going to run rampant in that conference when he gets over there.
Yeah, I'm afraid of what they're going to do to CU over the next decade, probably.
See you next year.
Yeah, so.
But I do still think he didn't want to come to the SEC in a sense with Oklahoma, and that's why he jumped ship when he had a chance with more money. Nothing wrong with taking more money.
Okay, but
making what was it, $9.5 million a year, and now he's making 16 million a year. Hey,
I think Kelly's best chance to win a national title is not at Notre Dame, and I think he made the move for that reason right there.
3 years from now, which program is better?
LSU.
Yeah.
Just because of LSU, not not necessarily because of Brian Kelly.
I think Brian Kelly's a good coach, man. I mean, you don't win 10 games a year.
No, I mean, I'm not saying that, but basically, so what's the bigger factor then, Brian Kelly or LSU? If
LSU is the bigger selling point. LSU will always be the biggest selling point over the coach when you got a guy like Kelly coming, like you said, from the north, coming to the south.
Got it.
Not many folks know about him except that he coached Notre Dame and never won a big game.
Yeah. Got it.
LSU brings in LSU's things. I mean,
and that's probably why Kelly made the decision he made. You know?
Yeah. Like that. Yeah.
At the end of the day, you play to win the game. You play to win national titles. And he's just looking at what's giving him the best chance.
And he is not going to do it at Notre Dame. They've shown that right there. Yeah. Notre Dame does not have what it takes to win a title with the way things go right now.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. Okay.
And honestly, Spencer, I will say this, though. If Notre Dame was in a conference championship game yesterday and waxed ass like Michigan did or Alabama did, they might have had a better shot at getting that playoff over Cincinnati. Even though Cincinnati did beat them heads up, that hurt them. But when you're not in a conference and you don't have that extra game to get people's eyes to see this, oh, we got one more chance. Oh, well, they beat this team now because you're always playing the best.
Yeah.
Notre Dame's always going to take second fiddle right there, always.
Right.
And they should. Until you're in a conference where you actually play the conference championship, you should always be second fiddle.
Yeah, got it. Okay.
It should have been Notre Dame should have always been ACC or they should have been Big Ten.
Got it.
Because they play them both anyways, regardless.
Yeah.
I know in NCAA basketball, they're ACC.
Got it.
Granted.
Okay.
But you know what?
And who thought Ogeron won a national title a couple of years ago? So Kelly's going into a spot where, hey, man, I just get one good freaking year to happen, my magic hits.
Yeah.
I got a title.
And Ogeron, he coached at both places.
Yeah, and I love Ogeron. Ogeron's one of my favorite coaches. I mean, back to the Ole Miss days, I've always loved Ogeron, you know. Not
cool.
an LSU so much,
all right.
but still. Yeah.
We'll go ahead and wrap up the college coaching carousel. So we'll move on to top stories, a little Alabama Gonzaga basketball, maybe a little baseball, and then we'll call it a show.
Heck yes.
All right, cool. And cut.